Well, we have officially made it to the bye week with a winning record and we're above 500. We're 3 and 2. Can't really complain. Hello Commanders, Automatic Gamer here and I will be breaking down our 2025-2026 NFL week 6 predictions heading into this partly through quarter of the NFL season. And two teams that are still on a bye right now. We got the Vikings and the Texans that are on the bye. And I'm going to briefly talk about those teams first, and then I'll get into the first game of the week. Now, for the Texans, them being on a bye, I would say maybe because, well, they just won against the Ravens, blowing them out, and, well, I would say offense still isn't the greatest for their team, and, of course, CJ Stroud, he's getting better for his third year as their starting QB. But, yeah, he's showing a little more progress that now they're being good, and same with the offense. It's still not the greatest, but it's not the worst in the league for the NFL. And so it's getting better. Their defense is still great, and they're trying to establish themselves in the AFC South and being like, hey, let's try and see if we can reclaim this division, because of now the biggest competition, of course, is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. And, well, Titans, you just got your first win of the season with Cam Ward, so yay, that's good. So, yeah. But, yeah, Texans, you guys being on a bye week, that's probably going to be good for, I would say, your QB situation with CJ Stroud, and also your offensive line, see if they can get a little bit better. But still, your defense, that's pretty good. And now for the Vikings, us being on a bye, that's great. 3 and 2, winning record, above 500. Again, can't complain. It's incredible. It's amazing. We beat the Browns, who beat the Packers, and yeah, I love that. It was just amazing. Our game, it was really fun. Carson Wentz he looked pretty good, and I know starter is going to be JJ McCarthy, and I know there's still a lot of people sleeping on him, being like, oh, he's softly benched right now. Oh, he's not going to be the greatest, but man, when he comes back week 7 against the Eagles, we're going to be looking like a brand new team. And of course, yeah, he's going to be coming back that week 7 as QB number 1. And of course, we're getting guys back from injury on our offensive line. Ryan Kelly, Wolf Rise, Donovan Jackson. I think Jonathan Grenard is going to be back as well. We still have a really great secondary with Isaiah Rodgers and everyone else. I love our defense still. We still don't really know. Well, I know we're going to see Blake Cashman on our defense, which is going to be great, so that's going to help us out a lot in the pass rush. Andrew Van Ginkel, still dealing with that neck injury, so we haven't really heard many updates on him, which kind of stinks. Carson Wentz did get hit with a shoulder bug, but he's still looking, he's going to be fine. But I know coming in probably week 7, it's going to give all these guys time to heal up, and JJ McCarthy, he's going to hopefully look like a brand new QB with a brand new team coming into that week 7 game against the Eagles. Can't wait. I'm so excited. Cannot wait for that game. And yeah, with the teams that are on the bye out of the way, we can now get into the first game of this week. Starting off with Thursday Night Football, you got a NFC East showdown. You got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants. And, well, both these teams losing last week. Giants losing to the Saints. Saints getting their first win of the season underneath with Tyler Shook as the QB. So they're looking better, showing some progress for the Saints. But yeah, for the Giants, I know they didn't have Malik Neighbors, and that's going to hurt them a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense is still it's decent. It's not. It's a pretty good defense, but it's not the greatest. It's still, their defense is still good. I think Jackson Dart, he's still good. Like he's only played a couple games, but he knows what he's doing right now at quarterback. And of course, their offense could be maybe a little bit better, but still, Giants. I think they're maybe can be a good team in the NFC East, and with them facing off against their probably biggest division rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, coming off their first loss against the Denver Broncos. Eagles right now, they're dealing with a little bit of injuries, which may help the Giants a little bit. And also, they can only play either a quarter or one half of football. And right now, going off their first loss, they want their offensive coordinator, and they already want guys fired already. Like, what the hell is going on with Eagles fans right now? I don't know. I can't tell you. Yeah, but that's interesting because they allowed the Broncos to come back, and yeah, Bo Nix and everyone else came roaring back and gave Eagles a really good run for their money. And for that game, well, I mean, I think it's being played at MetLife, which might benefit the Giants, but for that game, just because I think the Eagles are maybe a little bit put together of a better team, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles to get this win. And maybe they won't fire everyone, but you never know with the Eagles and Eagles fans saying, "Oh, we want these guys fired," because last year they wanted Nick Sirianni fired. Now they want their offensive coordinator fired. So who knows what's going to happen with them and their fan base. And for your next game, you have, let's see here. Wake up early for this one, just like last week with our game. But this time in London, you have the Denver Broncos facing off against the New York Jets. The Broncos, like I just mentioned, getting their shutting up the Eagles and making them get their first loss of the year. And well, for Bo Nix and the offense side of the ball, they came roaring back and made a really good and exciting ending to that game in the fourth quarter. And Bo Nix, he can be a really good quarterback. Sean Payton's still pretty good head coach for him. And well, he's got pretty good run game going. He's got plenty of weapons to throw the ball to. He's got a great offense, really good defense, a great secondary, of course. And with all those guys he's got on the offensive defensive side of the ball, that can make him a really good contender in that AFC West division. And of course, they're going to be taking on the only winless team in the NFL, the New York Jets. And also, why am I not surprised that it's the Jets? Well, because they're the Jets and they do Jets things, but I don't know. But yeah, the Jets are probably looking to get their first win with Justin Fields as QB. But for them, because Justin Fields, he can be an okay quarterback, and also their offense isn't the greatest. Their secondary and their defense is not the greatest either, but their secondary with Sauce Gardner and everyone else, it's always been really, really good. So that might benefit them a little bit. But of course, the Broncos already have a really good secondary and defense there. So it's a little bit of a wash there. But for them, I'm going to give the Broncos the win here in London. And yeah, for Jets fans, I just don't know at this point. And for your next game at 12 o'clock, after your 8:30 match, after you wake up for the day, you got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Indianapolis Colts. And Cardinals losing, of course, to the Tennessee Titans. Titans getting their first win with Cam Ward as starting QB, so that's great. And yeah, Cardinals, I don't really know what to say about you guys because, well, Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr., Marvin Harrison Jr. is still a very good weapon, wide receiver on the offensive side of the ball, so that's good at least. Kyler Murray can be a pretty solid quarterback at times. I mean, sometimes given the circumstances, but still got a pretty good amount of weapons on the offense side of the ball. Got a good but also a decent defense. I don't know really how your secondary would perform against the Colts with their defense and the offense, but also I don't know. That's a really interesting test for the Cardinals. And well, with them taking on Mr. Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts with Daniel Jones still as a starting QB, with the Colts I think only having one loss. I'm going to give the Colts probably the win here just because what Daniel Jones has been able to do with their team and also with guys like Anthony Richardson and just everyone else on the offensive side of the ball. And yeah, their defense is still pretty solid, really good. So I'm going to give the Colts the benefit of the doubt and the win here against the Arizona Cardinals. And Indiana Jones, who knows how far he's going to go. And with our next game, we have the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins, you had to choke it away. A 17-point lead against the Panthers. Why? Just asking. I mean, Dolphins fans, if you're watching this video, you're going to be like, automatic. I don't really know what to do at this point. We can either nail free agency or nail the draft with the number one overall pick like the Titans had last year. Yeah, who knows? Dolphins blew the lead last week against the Panthers, and well, I don't know what to say to you guys for. Of course, no Tyreek Hill for a little while, which is going to suck. I think he's out for the season, which is awful for you guys, losing the Cheetah. You're probably one of your best weapons in the offensive side of the ball, other than still having Jalen Waddle and Tua still as quarterback. Still having a pretty solid, a really good defense, a really good secondary, which might be really good against this Chargers team, led by Mr. Justin Herbert. But, of course, the Chargers have a pretty good, really good quarterback in Justin Herbert, have a very good offensive line, have a really good run game going for them. Really solid, and it's a great defense, a great secondary for the Chargers. And for this game, I'm going to go with the LA Chargers to get this win. And Dolphins, if nothing works out, just tank for the number one overall pick and see what you get. Personally, I would go for a CB, someone in the secondary for a number one selection. Following that match, you have New England Patriots taking on the New Orleans Saints. And for the Pats, the Patriots, giving the Bills, of course, their first loss of the season. Drake May played really well. Stephon Diggs had a great game. And, well, the Bills, we thought they could get done, remain undefeated in the NFL, but they allowed the Patriots to kick that game-winning field goal, which ultimately also allowed the Dolphins to pop the champagne and no more undefeated teams. So, yay for the Dolphins, but yeah, For the Patriots, for the Pats, well, again, Drake May having a great game. Stephon Diggs doing great on the offensive side of the ball. Defense is pretty good, pretty rock solid. Secondary, I mean, that's okay on their end, but also taking on the New Orleans Saints, that's probably going to be a low-scoring game, especially with the Saints getting their first win last week with Tyler Shough as QB and how their offensive line can perform and everything. But, of course, I think the Saints and the Saints fans are just looking for not only that first win, which is great, but also, since this is your first-year quarterback with Tyler Shough, you're probably going to look for some progress with him as QB. So with this, I'm going to say it's probably going to be a low-scoring game. But for this match, if it's maybe an offensive battle, I could maybe see the Patriots winning just with how Drake May did last week, or with Stephon Diggs, or if you're going to establish the run. I'm going to give the Patriots the win here. And Saints, just show some progress, and maybe you can be a competitive division in the NFC South. So that's that, I guess. Following that, you have, let's see here. You have a AFC North match. Oh gosh. Divisional game. You have the Cleveland Browns facing off against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cleveland Browns, let's just say you tried to put up a fight against the Vikings in London, but justice came away with a win, so that's great on our end. Yeah, Cleveland Browns, you take out Joe Flacco, you trade him to the Cincinnati Bengals for a 5th round pick, I believe that's what they got for him. And you put in Dylan Gabriel as your starting QB, and of course you've got guys like him as your starting quarterback. You got Quishon Judkins for the run game, so you can establish a run. You have a really solid, probably one of the best defenses in football for the Cleveland Browns, so that's great. And yeah, going up against this Steelers team with a it being led by Aaron Rodgers, I mean, that's going to be interesting with a divisional game. I mean, you never know, and it's AFC North football, so that's an extra tidbit of you never know, because with those kinds of matches, yeah. And of course, Steelers, pretty good, really good offense, really good defense, so it may be a defensive battle or it may be an offensive battle, but for that game, it's interesting to predict because both teams, really good defenses, but Browns, not the greatest offense, so maybe if the Steelers, I think, are able to establish a run game a little bit faster than the Browns, they could squeeze out a win here. So I'm going to go with the Steelers to get this win, but this might end up being a coin flip because it's AFC North football. But I'm going to go with the Steelers to get this win. And yeah, that just might be an interesting game to watch. Following a AFC North battle, you have... Oh gosh, this will be maybe ugly in about 5 minutes. You have the Dallas Cowboys facing off against the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, that might be weird, but also Panthers, you won last week against the Dolphins. They blew a 17-point lead, so you ended up winning 27-24. And yeah, Panthers fans, it's just exciting to have a little bit more optimism with your fan base and your quarterback in Bryce Young. So that's really good. And them facing off against the Dallas Cowboys, really good offense, have a absolute crappy defensive line, like no defense at all. So that's going to be pretty poor for their team on their end. Don't really have a secondary for the Cowboys as well, which is awful. And also, Panthers fans, just look for some progress in Bryce Young. Even if you don't win this game, which I think the Cowboys are going to probably be able to take care of you guys pretty easily. But if the Panthers end up winning this game, I would be shocked and I will be laughing because Cowboys are probably my second or third most hated team in the NFL besides the Green Bay Packers. And well... yeah, I'm going to go with the Cowboys to get this win, but Panthers, if you end up winning, it'll be so hilarious if you do, and I will laugh. And yeah, following that game, you have not the Packers yet. That's coming up pretty soon here. You got maybe a really good match coming in here. You have the Seattle Seahawks facing off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Seahawks trying to keep it close with Sam Darnold against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And man, Seahawks are a really entertaining team to watch this year with Sam Darnold as quarterback, but you also got Cooper Kupp, and you always got JSN, and he's always really good in that wide receiver. in that position to help you guys move the ball on the offensive side. So JSN is always good. You got Cooper Kupp going for you, so that's great. You have a pretty solid and okay defense. You got I don't know what happened to your defense last week, but hopefully it gets better. But also, I don't really know what happened with the defense and the secondary, but also that was a really fun match to watch when they faced off against the Buccaneers. And ultimately, yeah, came down to a field goal. Seahawks ended up losing, and yeah, them facing off against Jacksonville Jaguars. It's going to be interesting. Sam Darnold versus Trevor Lawrence. I mean, it could be, might be a very entertaining game. But, yeah, because Jaguars just ended up beating the Chiefs after a 99-yard pick six, and Trevor Lawrence tripped over himself, still got in there for the game-winning touchdown against the Chiefs, so that's very impressive. So, Trevor Lawrence, hats off to that play. That was incredible to watch. And yeah, them facing off against Seattle Seahawks, of course they got guys like Travis Hunter and everyone else on the offensive side to establish a run. They got a pretty good defense, a really good secondary, so that's really good. Something the Seahawks don't have, which might benefit the Jaguars. And this is going to be an interesting one to predict because you got two pretty good offenses going head-to-head with each other, so it's probably going to be a really good and high-scoring game. But for this, maybe just going off the quarterbacks, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks just because I believe in Sam Darnold and his offensive side of the ball a little bit more with the amount of weapons that he has with Cooper Kupp and JSN. So I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to get this win. But Jaguars, last week that was really impressive what you did to the Kansas City Chiefs. Following that incredible match, hopefully, you got the LA Rams facing off against the Baltimore Ravens. Rams, of course, losing Thursday night to the 49ers off that ending extra field goal that they allowed to kick after trying to come back and being up to win the game. And, of course, really exciting to watch. And, of course, for the Rams, still one of the best and very, very good teams with, of course, Matthew Stafford. And, of course, you now got Davante Adams, and you still got Puka Nacua, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Have a really powered offense, a really good defense, and a great secondary. And with the LA Rams facing off against the Baltimore Ravens, the Ravens, they have not looked the same without Lamar Jackson. I mean, but they still got King Derrick Henry, so that's something for the run game. I got nothing for the Ravens other than that. But yeah, King Derrick Henry might help out the Ravens a little bit, but I don't really know if that's going to be enough to stop the LA Rams and Matthew Stafford with Puka Nacua and also Davante Adams. So for this, I'm going to go with the LA Rams to get this win. And also, for the Ravens, still have a pretty good defense, pretty good secondary, so that might benefit them a little bit. But yeah, for this game, I'm going to go with the LA Rams to get this win. And Lamar Jackson, hopefully for your Ravens team, just be healthy, and then you can look better by hopefully the end of the year. Following that, you have you got the Tennessee Titans facing off against the Las Vegas Raiders. Like I said, Titans getting their first win last week against the Cardinals. Cam Ward, he played pretty well. He didn't have to struggle as much behind the offensive line, which was great. And, of course, I mean, the offense could look better. Cam Ward showing a lot of potential that he can be a really good quarterback, especially with his first year and number one overall on the Titans. And them facing off against the Las Vegas Raiders with Mr. Geno Smith. This is gonna be a weird one to predict because this may be an ugly game. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but it may be an ugly game with how both QBs and offenses are going to work on their side of the football. So this might be a low scoring game to watch, but for this, hold on, let me figure out where it's being played first. Yeah, being played, I think, in Vegas. That might benefit the Raiders a little bit with Geno Smith and Pete Carroll still as head coach. So, Titans, if you can squeeze out a win and make some progress with Cam Ward, so that'd be great. But being played in Vegas and with the Raiders still having Geno Smith and Pete Carroll as head coach, I'm going to go with the Raiders to get this win. And also see if they can activate someone like Ashton Jeanty to hopefully get a run game going. So yeah, Raiders, you getting the win this week. Titans, I'll be surprised if you get this win, but that would be cool. Now you have a potential trap game for... you got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Green Bay Packers. The reason why I say it's a trap game, I'll get to that in a second, but Bengals, you just got Joe Burrow from the Cleveland Browns, and you just gave up a 5th-round pick for him. And Joe Burrow you're going to have Joe Burrow as your starting QB instead of Jake Browning with, or you're going to have Joe Flacco as your starting quarterback instead of Jake Browning. Well, Joe Burrow is still out probably until December, most likely, with still him having that injury that he has to his toe. I think Joe Flacco may make your team and your offense maybe look a little bit better. And of course, last week against the Lions, you may have lost, but you know what? They looked a lot better, and I know that their defense is still not the greatest in the world. Their offense, it can move the ball, especially sometimes if you got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and I know you got Trey Hendrickson on the defensive side of the ball, so that's good. Defense was a lot better last week against the Lions, even though they lost, allowing them to score 24-25 unanswered points last week, so that's great. And yeah, for the Bengals, them facing off against the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, still not the greatest quarterback in the world, and Packers, they're not only dealing with injuries, but they're having an identity crisis. They don't have a defense anymore. They're trying to figure out what the hell they have in Jordan Love and the offensive side of the ball. Don't have a defense anymore, even though they do have Micah Parsons, so that might hurt them a little while. And of course, week 3, we all remember that one great moment where Joe Flacco beat the Green Bay Packers with a final score of 13-10 in week 3, and man, that was a fun game to watch. And so, yeah, I could see this being a trap game for the Green Bay Packers. And yeah, I'm going to go with Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals to get this win. And Packers, who knows? You might have to commit to a rebuild this year for the Green Bay Packers. And if you lose to Joe Flacco again, yeah, I will laugh. That will be extremely funny. Following that game, you have potentially maybe the game of the week, since we're not playing. You got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The 49ers able to battle back against their division rival being the LA Rams, and able to stop them and win that game, especially with Mac Jones still as QB. And of course, you got still guys like Christian McCaffrey. You still got a few injuries on the offensive side of the ball, which isn't great, but you still got a really good run game going on, and you can still move the ball. You got plenty of weapons on the offensive side, which is great. You have a pretty good defense, and secondary, I mean, it's good, but maybe could use a little help. Who knows? And with them taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this may be a challenge for them with Mac Jones still as QB for the 49ers. But yeah, with them taking on Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, well, one, Baker's most likely going to keep on baking those wins, which will be great for him. And of course, he's got Emma Ibuka. I think that's how you say the wide receiver's name. Someone let me know in the comments if I said it wrong. And also, you still got Mike Evans. I know you don't have Bucky Irving for a little bit in that run game, so hopefully he gets back soon. You still got, guys like Mike Evans, Ibuka. I know you still got other weapons. You still got a really good defense, a really good secondary. Got Ibuka, you got Chris Godwin, and you got everyone else on the team, and of course, have a really good offense. So this could be a struggle for the 49ers. So for this game, it might be high scoring, might be one of the games of the week, in my opinion. But for this game, it's probably going to be high scoring, but also, this one's really hard to predict because both the offenses are really good and have plenty of weapons on each of the team that they can do probably whatever they want. However, for this game, since I believe in the Bucs a little bit more with their quarterback, I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Mr. Baker Mayfield to keep on baking up those wins. And Buccaneers, you're really good. You've been a really good team this year. Very impressive. Following that, for your Sunday night football game, you got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Detroit Lions at Arrowhead. So that's going to be great for the Lions. Not great because they're not at home. For the Lions, able to beat the Cincinnati Bengals last week, but still get a little scary at the end there, allowing the Bengals to score those 24-25 unanswered points. So that's a little bit scary for the Lions. So who knows what that's going to turn them into. And I know they still got Dan Campbell as head coach. They don't have their coordinators anymore. They got new ones still, trying to figure things out. They still got Jerry Goff. They got the Sun God, Ahmet Ross. I know you got Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, so that's pretty good. Got a really pretty good, well put together offense. You got a really good defense going for you, and them taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, especially in the Chiefs' home at Arrowhead, this may benefit the Chiefs a lot because that crowd is going to be loud in the Lions' ears. They may not be able to hear play calling from their head coach, which is going to hurt them a lot. And for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, even though he lost to the Jaguars, he was still able to put up a good game and a good fight against Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville Jaguars. He's looking better and better. Their offense is looking better, especially when they're getting guys back. Travis Kelce, he's not looking the greatest, but he can still move the ball on their offensive side of the ball. Their defense is doing really well. Their secondary is great. And for this game, I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs to get this win. And it'll be an interesting game on Sunday Night Football to watch. Following that, you got a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. You have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Atlanta Falcons for your first game at 6 o'clock. For the Bills, first loss of the season, and I know it was just against the Patriots, which kind of sucks. Josh Allen still pretty much had a really good game. Had to clean up a few things on the on the penalties side of things, which kind of sucks. Couple costly turnovers, which is pretty bad, but still can have a phenomenal game and team, especially with Josh Allen. You got James Cook in the run game. Got plenty of wide receivers. And you have really good offense. You have a really good defense. pretty great secondary going for you, so that's great. And of course, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I'm just gonna ask this question because the Falcons win and then they lose, then win and lose. What team are the Atlanta Falcons going to be this year? Because I think they're gonna have their hands full with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So this might be a struggle for the Atlanta Falcons with Michael Penix Jr. as QB. And of course, I know they got Bijan Robinson in the run game, have a pretty good offense going for them. Their defense is okay. Secondary's okay. Could be a little bit better. So that's fine, I guess, for them. But yeah, they're gonna have their hands full with the Buffalo Bills, especially I think in the run game or that quarterback situation. But yeah, for this game, I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills to get this win. And Falcons, what's your identity this year? And for your later Monday Night Football game to end off that week, you have the Washington Commanders facing off against the Chicago Bears. Jayden Daniels is back for the Commanders, so that is wonderful. Still waiting for Terry McLaurin to come back for Wildflower. So yeah, that's good for Wildflower. I mean, at least. But yeah, for the Commanders, yeah, just waiting for Scary Terry to come back. So that's okay. Still have a pretty good defense and offense even without him. Have a really good secondary that's been very much improved upon. Offense can move the ball a lot, especially with Jayden Daniels as quarterback, so that's great. And facing off against Chicago Bears, that were on a bye, so I can't really judge them, but Caleb Williams, he can look good here and there. He's got weapons on the offensive side of the ball, like Roma Doomsday and everyone else like that. So that's pretty good. He can move the ball, but again, it's I don't know. It's weird to say this because, well, I mean, it's the Bears. They can move the ball, but I just have a lot more faith in the Commanders' efficiency and offense to move the ball. So for this game, I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders to get this win. And Wildflower, let's just see how far you can go in the NFC East. And yeah, let me know if you disagree or agree with any of these teams that I said in the comments below. And also, if you're just as excited for our next game, Week 7, as much as I am, type Skull Vikings in the comments. And also, if you guys want to talk more football with me and more Viking stuff with me, just subscribe to my channel and also join my Discord if you want to hang out and chat with football and everything. Just join my Discord. The link is in the description, and I will see you on the football field, Commanders, after our bye week against the Philadelphia Eagles. That is going to be a really entertaining game to watch. See you on the football field, Commanders.